California Proposition 16 is a repeal on Proposition 209. Affirmative Action. Thomas Sands, President and General Counsel of the Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund, speaks about a common theme amongst everything that has been occurring in 2020 so far, which is the recognition of the enduring ongoing effects of systemic injustice and discrimination against African Americans, Latinos, and Asian Americans. That has highlighted the issue that is addressed directly by Proposition 16, which would repeal Proposition 209, a prop which adds a paragraph to our state's constitution prohibiting the use of affirmative action techniques in public education, public employment, and public contracting. The immediate impact of Proposition 209 is the dramatic drop in the number of African American and Latino students at the University of California campuses. Today, 24 years later, African American and Latino students make up 60% of 12th graders in public schools statewide. But in the universities, those same group makes only 29% of undergraduates. Aside from passing Proposition 16, California must also examine the disparities, identify the causes, and consider whether they are race and gender neutral approaches before considering a race or gender conscious affirmative action program. Under a U.S. Supreme Court precedent, Ava Patterson, president and founder of the Equal Justice Society, says that Proposition 16 actually deals with systemic racism. One of the ways is that communities of color that do not have sufficient political power. The passing of Proposition 16 will not only help the educational system, but employment as well, as it will help minority communities to get promoted in their careers. Vincent Pan, executive director of Chinese for Affirmative Action, adds that Proposition 16 also addresses public contracting and that Asian American businesses earn more in states and cities where affirmative action is legal. Many of the small businesses have not been able to access federal support programs, including the Paycheck Protection Program during this pandemic. Proposition 16 would allow more targeted programs to make sure that these businesses are able to access the support that they're entitled to. The solution to all kinds of disparities is to have more race-conscious programs like affirmative action.